KIYX FM test audio. KIYX FM test audio. This is a Queen Bee Radio High School sports presentation. Queen Bee Radio proudly brings you Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school sports. Presented by Myers Heating and Cooling and Wolf Construction. And sponsored by Claire Bank, Cuba City Family Dental, Culver's of Dubuque, Galena, and Platteville, Edward Jones representative Ben Reeves and Elena Reeves, Fuller's Milker Center, Nutrition World, the Peterson Agency, Raleigh Cheese, the Shoebox, and Tricor Insurance.
From the Jerry Pettigrew Gymnasium at Cuba City High School, our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school sports is presented by Wolf Construction and Myers Heating and Cooling. Broadcasting from the Wolf Construction broadcast table on the stage at Cuba City High School, I'm Mark Evenstead, and welcome to our Raleigh Cheese pregame show presented by Raleigh Cheese at the intersection of Highways 11 and 23 in the heart of Lafayette County. Don't forget the cheese. Welcome to our broadcast tonight. It is SWAL Conference Girls High School Basketball in Southwest Wisconsin as the Cuba City Cubans, the number 5 ranked team in the latest Associated Press girls high school basketball poll. They're at ranked 5th. They were number 2 last week, but they lost to Prairie du Chien. That dropped them down to number 5. Cuba City comes in 12-0 in the conference and 19-2 overall. The Cubans taking on the Mineral Point Pointers, 10-1 in the conference. That one loss to Cuba City earlier this year. 17-4 overall. So we've got a heck of a basketball game for you tonight. It's the numbers 1 and 2 teams going at it tonight in SWAL Conference action. After tonight, there's only 2 games left in the regular season. Cuba City won the previous meeting between these 2 teams. That took place back on January 10th on the road, 55-49 to atone for Mineral Point handing the Cubans their only 3 losses last year on their way to winning the Division IV state championship in girls basketball. Here in our Raleigh Cheese pregame show, we'll bring you the Nutrition World starting lineup, brought to you by Nutrition World. Health and wellness, quality selection and knowledge for optimal health and energy levels are found at Nutrition World, Highways 80 and 81 in Platteville. And the colors of the game brought to you by Cuba City Family Dental and Keeler Family Dental. Well, the colors are always bright white without putting your finances in the red. Plus, we'll hear from the coaches, Michael Keys of the Mineral Point Pointers and Jason Derby of the Cuba City Cubans. We'll do all that and more next on Super Hits 106 at superhits106.com.
Pregame 1.
Thompson's IGA Cuba City. Look in store or Facebook to see their new monthly specials from IGA and Best Choice brands. Always save. Lowest prices every day. Learn more at thompsonsiga.com.
Hi, this is Christine Raleigh of Raleigh Cheese, wishing all area athletes successful seasons. Cheese is a great source of protein for school lunches or a snack before the big game. Stop in and try some of our award-winning artisan cheeses like Dunbarton Blue, Red Rock, and Little Mountain. We have fresh cheese curds weekly and a wide variety of snacks and beverages, plus made-to-order cheese trays. Shop locally and taste the difference of handmade Wisconsin cheese at Raleigh Cheese House on the corner of Highways 11 and 23, Shellsburg.
People's State Bank is locally owned and locally managed with 20 convenient locations in southwest Wisconsin and northeast Iowa. If you're looking for a place where you're more than just a number, but still have access to convenient technology, we're it. As a community bank, we're proud to support many of the local charities, county fairs, community events, and more. When you become part of People's State Bank, you can be confident that you're standing with a good cause. People's State Bank, community-minded, just like you. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
24/7, 365. Myers Heating and Cooling is your trusted residential heating and cooling system service provider. Join Myers Comfort Club for peace of mind throughout the year and around the clock. Myers Heating and Cooling in Lancaster. Don't worry, we got this.
Brian Steffes Construction is the area's leading authorized WIC building construction company. For all your construction needs, contact Brian Steffes Construction in Mineral Point. WIC Buildings, your dreams, their building expertise. Together we can build something special.
Grant Regional Health Center's ortho team, Dr. Brad Binsfeld and Nate Stocco, PAC, provide exceptional care for sports-related injuries. Grant Regional Health Center. Experience the difference.
Pre-game one.
And superhits106.com with high school basketball tonight. A battle for first place in the SWAL. It's Cuba City playing host to Mineral Point. And we're joined by Mike Keys, the coach of the Mineral Point Pointers. So, Mike, you played Cuba City earlier this year. That was over at Mineral Point. They won that game, but that's the last time that you guys had lost a game. And I got to believe that you continue to see even more and more growth among the kids on your team. It has to be.
Really, really proud of this group. We're in a good place. I think we've gotten better every day, especially since the last time we played Cuba. We're really excited about the opportunity tonight, and should be a great game.
You know, it's funny that this season is kind of an extension of last season, only because that, you guys are defending state champions, and you will remain that way until somebody comes along and tries to knock you off. And of course, everybody would love to win a game against a defending state champion. That's why you guys probably have the target on your back each and every time out.
It's taken us a while to figure it out. We weren't really healthy at the beginning, and then it took us a while to, even when Kennedy came back, to get healthy and get in the flow. But like I said, we're in a good place. We know we've got an incredible challenge tonight. One of the best teams in the state here. But hey, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, with your team, though, Lacey Lindsay just having a great year. Kennedy Wenger, Caitlin Cox, they're all averaging in double figures. So there's really not a whole lot of drop-off. And then, of course, somebody gets into foul trouble. You bring some kids off the bench. And again, not much drop-off there.
A lot of kids in different roles. Pretty much every kid in a different role, but stepping up, figuring out what to do, how to do it, and it's been fun.
So with Cuba City, in order to defeat them, is there any one player you got to really knuckle down on, or is that pretty a tall task? You just have to slow them all down, or at least force them into some mistakes that they otherwise would not want to make?
Well, they're very good. I mean, they're very good. It starts with their top two. Olsen and Bosberg are outstanding players. Chris in the middle poses problems, and then their role players, Daly and Rowe and Wigman and Rogers, they all do their job pretty well. So it starts with just how we play. We have to be solid in our fundamental disciplines. It starts on the defensive end with us. Be able to make sure that we value the basketball, and then, like anything else, hopefully we make enough shots.
And if you lose tonight, not going to be the end of the season. In fact, there's still some good basketball yet to play for another week and a half. Could you see them again in the postseason? That's a very good possibility. It always seems to happen each and every year. And I guess that you don't want to get too far ahead of yourself, but you probably have that in the back of your mind, what you have to be prepared for.
Yeah, we're concentrating on it. This weekend is the seeding meetings and stuff, and the tournament will get laid out here for us. But we've been looking forward to this for a month, so it's here, and we're excited for it.
And there you go, Mike Keys, the coach of the Mineral Point Pointers, on the Raleigh Cheese pregame show. We are coming back after this timeout on Super Hits 106 and superhits106.com.
Culver's could have only started in Wisconsin. Just ask our team member, Sarah.
When you order a Culver's Butterburger, you're never just a customer. You're a guest in our home. It's why we cook each Butterburger to order just for you, right down to getting the perfect sear on the beef. That extra care may be a small town thing, but it's big time important to us.
Let us serve you with a smile that stretches from our hometown to yours. Welcome to Delicious.
Visit Culver's today in Platteville, Dubuque, and Galena.
This is a friendly reminder. Valentine's Day is February 14th. surprise someone by remembering this year. This is April Finnan Rink with Finning Kia. This month, visit us during the Meet Your Match sales event. We are matching clients with their new Kia certified pre-owned or pre-owned vehicle. If your current ride is in need of a makeover, lost that loving feeling, or just is not the right fit for you, visit Finning Kia. This Valentine's, fall in love with a new Kia. Who said you can't have it all? Style, dependability, safety, and an industry-leading 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. You will want to swipe right. The team at Finning Kia is on a mission to change the perception of car buying quick, comfy, and fun. Visit us on the corner of Savings, Northwest Arterial and Highway 20 in Dubuque, or online at finningkia.com.
Finning, you're winning with Finning.
Hi, this is Sue Rydell from the Bell Tower Theater, inviting you to the kickoff of our 2023 season with the hilarious play Weekend Comedy. When a young dating couple and a happily married middle-aged couple decide to share the same cabin, it's a clash of generations, and it's perfect for Valentine's Day. Don't miss Weekend Comedy, February 10th to the 26th. Tickets are just $23. Call 588-3377 or visit belltowertheater.net.
Weekend 2.
Super Hits 106 and superhits106.com. Welcome back to the Raleigh Cheese pregame show. Oh, have we got a great basketball game for you tonight. Small conference action. It's a chase for first place, and we've got the Mineral Point Pointers on the road at Cuba City to take on the Cubans. Jason Derby, the coach of the Cuba City Cubans, is joining us right now. So last week you had a loss to Prairie du Chien. And that's probably not all that surprising because Prairie du Chien is a very, very good team. They will go far. You had the win, though, over Iowa Grant. You must have felt going into that game that you'd probably have a pretty good chance of winning that game. You did. And so now you've got just 3 games left of the regular season, and you got Mineral Point tonight. Just doesn't get any better than that.
Yep. I mean, these are really fun games. You know, there's good basketball in Southwest Wisconsin, and we love playing against good teams. And you know, Mineral Point fits that bill. And you know, you talked about Prairie du Chien, another well-coached team that plays really hard, and they outplayed us. And you know, we hope that gets us ready for games like these. And we're going to see another good one tonight. Another team that plays really hard.
Jason, I gotta believe that when your season started, when practice started, one of the goals you guys set was you'd like to win a conference championship. And you've got a chance to do that now. It's the late stage of the season. In fact, a win over Mineral Point would probably cement that. So if that happens, then you can check off a goal. If it doesn't happen, well, I guess the good news is that's not the end of the season. It's just simply a loss. But you don't want to lose to them in the postseason.
Of course not. Right. I think the whole season we've really talked about how can we be as good as we can be come March and late February when tournament comes around. And again, if that means a conference championship, that's great, but that's not the primary driver, the primary goal. It's okay, we want to be the best team we can possibly be, and if the other results come with it, then we'll let the chips fall where they may. But we really try to control the controllables, and you know, we think that when you control the controllables, usually good things happen. So.
And your team is probably trending in that direction. It is getting better with each and every game. In fact, from that first day of practice to now, what have you seen, Jason?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, every single one of our players all the way down the line have improved greatly. They've played together. This has been, I'm really, really fortunate to get to coach a group of girls like this. Like, these are just great humans that happen to play basketball pretty darn well, too. So it's been a great year of growth for them. They've done everything we've asked, and you know, we hope we start to see it pay off in games like these.
Coming up on Sunday will be the seedings. Normally, in this aspect, I would be saying to you, well, I got to believe, Jason, you will be lobbying for that number 1 seed, but it doesn't work that way anymore, does it?
Yeah. You know, let the computers decide, and you know, again, we get to control the controllables. We'll see what happens on the selection show when it comes out, and then we'll get ready for whoever they put us against.
Very good. That's Jason Derby, the coach of the Cuba City Cubans, on our Raleigh Cheese pregame show. We're back after this timeout on Super Hits 106 and superhits106.com.
Heads Up Salon, Sherry, Jennifer, Jennifer and Brittany at Heads Up do highlights, color, cuts, perms, and new barbering services too. Heads Up Salon, North Jefferson Street, Lancaster.
Rookie's Food and Spirits on Highway 14 in Mazamani is the perfect chaser to your shoebox shopping experience. Like Rookie's Food and Spirits on Facebook for updates on dine-in, takeout, and delivery service. Rookie's Food and Spirits.
Folding a fitted sheet, programming the thermostat, matching your socks. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with an auto owner's insurance independent agent, getting the right coverage for your home doesn't have to be one of them. So you can get back to more important things, like finding that missing sock. That's simple human sense.
Ask Brian Peterson of the Peterson Agency in Argyle if auto owners make sense for you.
Pre-game 3.
Super Hits 106 and superhits106.com. Welcome back to our Raleigh Cheese pregame show for tonight's game between the Mineral Point Pointers and the Cuba City Cubans in Small Conference Girls High School basketball action. Broadcasting from the Wolf Construction broadcast table, I'm Mark Ebenstad. Now let's get to the Nutrition World starting lineup for tonight's game between the Cubans and the Pointers. First, for the Mineral Point Pointers, coached by Michael Keys. In his fourth year with a record of 75-14, and assisted by Mike Chambers and Abby Trainer. Their starting lineup, and a guard, a 5'7" sophomore, averaging 11.6 points a game, number 5, Lacey Lindsay. And a forward, a 5'7" junior, averaging 8.7 points a game, number 11, Belle Waters. And a forward, a 6-foot senior, averaging 11.9 points a game, number 32, Kennedy Wenger. At forward, 5'10" senior, averaging 12.9 points per game, number 34, Caitlin Cox. And at forward, a 5'10" senior, averaging 4 points a game, number 15, Kennedy Cabot. For Mineral Point is number 5, Lindsay, number 11, Waters, number 32, Wenger, number 34, Cox, and number 15, Cabot. Now, the Nutrition World starting lineup for the 5th-ranked Cuba City Cubans. Coming in at 12-0 in the conference, 19-2 overall. They are coached by Jason Derby in his second year with a record of 37-11. They go this way to start. And a forward, a 5'10" sophomore, averaging 15.6 points a game, number 12, Ella Vosberg. And a guard, a 5'7" sophomore, averaging 17.8 points a game, number 22, Olivia Olson. At forward, a 5'10" senior, averaging 7.4 points a game, number 24, Jenna Daly. At forward, a 6-foot senior, averaging 7.8 points a game, number 44, Dia Chris. And also at forward, a 5'10" senior, averaging 2.7 points a game, number 34, Grace Cummins. She's getting a start ahead of Ashley Rowe, a freshman, 5'7", averaging 7.9 points per game, as it is senior night tonight at the Jerry Pettigrew Gymnasium for tonight's game. That's the Nutrition World starting lineup, brought to you by Nutrition World Health and Wellness. Quality selection and knowledge for optimal health and energy levels are found at Nutrition World, Highways 80 and 81 in Platteville. Now, the colors of the game, brought to you by Cuba City Family Dental and Keeler Family Dental. Well, the colors are always bright white without putting your finances in the red. Cuba City, the home team, white trunks, white tops, gold numerals, and lettering, a little bit of black trim. And for Mineral Point, powder blue trunks, powder blue tops, and dark blue numerals and lettering, and a little bit of dark blue trim. We are about set to go from the Jerry Pettigrew Gymnasium. Let's turn it over to my right, where the Cuba City High School pep band is ready to perform our national anthem for tonight's crowd for the game between the Mineral Point Pointers and the Cuba City Cubans. And now, here is our national anthem.
To honor America and those defending our freedom, we ask those who are able to stand, remove your hats, and place your hand over your heart as the Cuba City High School pep band plays our national anthem.
You got it. Our national anthem from Cuba City High School, from the Cuba City High School Pep Band. Well, unlike Saturday, we had a rather sparse crowd here for a game between second-ranked Cuba City and seventh-ranked Prairie du Chien. This is a much larger crowd here for this game tonight, and it is senior night on top of that, because the regular season is winding down. After tonight, there are only two regular season games that are left. The seeding meetings will be determined on Sunday, and then after this next week, postseason play will begin in Wisconsin, and postseason play is beginning tomorrow in Illinois. So now, that time of year that I always love is about to start. Our basketball game tonight is brought to you by Claire Bank, with 8 convenient locations in southwest Wisconsin, proudly supporting high school sports. Claire Bank, where they say we can do that. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. The players are getting around the center circle. It'll be Ella Vosberg in the circle for Cuba City. And for Mineral Point, it's going to be Kennedy Cabot. Ball in the air. Tap. Slipping around and finally controlled by Mineral Point. Cabot caught it. A couple of bounces. Now here's Mineral Point coming to the stage area. Cabot on the down screen. Passes up on top. Gets it over to Caitlin Cox. They work over to the right wing. Cabot has up on top. Cox now takes. We'll find Cabot, head of the wheel. Pass comes inside. Chris comes up with a steal for the Cuba City Cubans. We're going to get some pressure in the backcourt. Throwing it long down court, the ball stolen away by Cox. So each team now with a turnover. Point coming this way with it. They have it up on top with Cox. Cox looking inside. Passes off to the right-hand side to Waters. Now pass to the wing, left-hand side. Cabot has, getting pressured by Vosberg in a man-to-man defense. Bounce pass on top, Waters takes. Gets it up on top to Cox. Can't find an inside presence. We'll have to pass it off to Lindsay. Now a lob pass underneath. Cox gets open, put it up and in. Cox got behind the defense. On a perfect pass inside, it's 2-0. And again, Mineral Point with the press. Cuba City breaks the press, and the pass thrown on the left wing and got by Daly for another turnover. Tell you what though, Jason Derby doesn't mess around. This keeps up here in the early going. He'll call a timeout. Say, hey, look, we got to regroup. So Point is going to attack into the backcourt on Cuba City in the early going. It's Wenger into the forecourt with it. Across the Cubans' logo. Big pass on the inside. Pass goes to the left. Wenger takes. Cross-court pass over to the right. It's Lindsay with it. Lob pass underneath. Cox gets open. Shot it. Misses. Rebound. Put back up again. Waters. So second chance point there, and it's 4-0. Mineral Point. Pressure. Backcourt. And timeout. Yep. Libby Olsen didn't like that, and so she called the timeout. And we had a 30-second timeout called by Cuba City. A smart move to regroup, reset, take a deep breath, and then look at the fundamentals or go to the fundamentals to come up with the game plan to beat that press. Our game brought to you by People's State Bank. For personal, home, business, and ag loans, visit one of their 20 area locations or visit peoplesfinancial.com. Member FDIC. Also brought to you by Ivy Construction, Mineral Point. Ivy Construction, a family-owned and operated ready-mix, aggregate, and excavation company serving southwest Wisconsin. That's Ivy Construction of Mineral Point. Now we'll have the inbound. It'll come in front of the Cuba City bench, so you're going to be surrounded by a lot of familiar faces. Bounce pass comes now to Olsen, backcourt, behind the back dribble against the pressure, getting double teamed, throws it up the floor, and caught by Daly. Goes back to the right side and laid up and missed! Missed by Vosberg. Ball tipped back out, and it's recovered by Olsen. Olsen on the dribble. Dribble between two defenders, and whistle and a foul called on the floor. That's going to go on Bell Waters. First personal, first team for Point. Inbound coming left of the basket with 15:59 to go, first half. Olsen trying to look for an inbound. Clock is running, at least on the inbound, and she finally gets it away. And she gets it away to Vosberg. Left side. Off to Olsen. Dribble drive. Baseline left. Jump pass comes up on top and handled by Rowe. So Ashley Rowe now into the ballgame. And slipped it back in the interior and laying it up and putting it in is Vosberg. So you had the substitution as Cummins came out after about a minute and a half of play, and Rowe is in. Ashley Rowe, 5'7" freshman, averaging 7.9 points a game. Here's that lob on the interior. Cox catches, kicks it back out for a three to the left. That's the way you do it. That's Lacey Lindsay and her 51st three of the season. That was almost a turnover on Mineral Point, but they saved it. Now the pressure in the backcourt. And getting into the forecourt, Rowe. And she turned it over. As coming up with a loose ball is Waters. Cuba now with 3 turnovers. 15 minutes to play. 7-5. 7-2 rather. Point leads. There's Waters. A little shovel step, but no travel call. And now Wenger will take it on the wing left. Third pass comes up on top. Left-hand side, Waters. Lob pass intended for Cox. She makes the catch and putting it up and in. Wenger this time. Wenger with the hoop on the lob feed. They have been scoring on lob feeds every time except for that 3. 9-2. Point leads. Olsen. Forecourt. Works to the left. Cross-court pass right side. Here's a 3 from Daly in the corner right. That's the way you do it. Jenna Daly with her 33rd 3 of the season. It is 9-4. Mineral Point. Here's a drive. Baseline left. From Cox, and the shot is missed, and the rebound comes off to Chris for the Cubans. Up the floor, left-hand side. Olsen penetrates to the lane. Dishes Daly right, lays it up and in. Now that's Ella Vosberg. Vosberg with the basket, 4 points for her, and it's 9-6 point. Now here's the pointers with a jumper from Waters, no good. Screen out rebound, Daly's got it. That's another thing now Cuba City's got to do. They got to play good defense and then force missed shots, and that will keep Point from being able to establish that full court pressure. Bounce pass into Chris, right side, layup was that too hard. Rebound put back by Vosberg, no good. Chris is there, put back, that won't fall. Fight for the rebound, and a held ball call. Hitting the deck was Cox. We get substitutions. Ella Kroll comes in for Point, 5'4" sophomore, averages 5.4 points a game. And in for Cuba City, Alexis Rundy, 5'10" sophomore, averaging 2 points per game. Possession arrow, Cubans. They'll inbound it right on the basket. Skip inbound, comes to Rundy. High right-hand side. With it is Olsen. Ball knocked to the floor, but Olsen's able to recover and gets fouled. And a Mineral Point foul. It's going to be called. Let's see who gets the foul. It's going to be 32. Wenger. That's her first. Second team of the Pointers, inbound coming on the side. Ready to throw it in is Vosberg. Gets it to Olsen. On the side, once again, behind the back dribble. Dribbles to the free throw line. Peels back, and then a lob pass stolen away. And stolen away by Wenger. 4 turnovers on the Cubans. Point comes the other way with it. Waters has, cross-court pass, left side. Lindsay has. Lindsay dribbling in on Olsen, cuts her off. Handled by Cox up on top. Entry pass. Comes into Wenger. Wenger powers it up and in. Kennedy Wenger with 4 points. 11-6. Pointers lead. 12:40 to go. First half. Backcourt row. The freshman. They get it in the corner right with Daly. Daly double team for a moment. Then we'll pass it back up on top to Rowe. Rowe working over to the right-hand side. Will shift a little bit to the left. Left-hand dribble. Does the curl. Comes into the lane. Throws the pass over to the right side, and the 3 ball on the way. That is knocked down by Daly. Steal of the inbound. Nope, now no steal. Point keeps it. And the Pointer's still in the backcourt with it. It's 11-9, 2-point ball game. Point with a lead. Pass right now, coming in. Waters on the baseline right. Misses the layup attempt. Ball is recovered by Cox, and she fell down with a basketball into a traveling violation. Pointers with their second turnover. Boy, the electricity is really flowing here tonight. Backcourt pressure. Olsen hasn't put a dribble down. Now, slow bounce pass comes to Ruddy. Now up the floor, past the timeline. Rowe, corner left. Here's a 3 for the left side. It's no good. Miss, and put back up and in. And it's a basket for Vosberg, and a steal now. Mineral Point turns it over again. It's tied at 11 now on that basket. Pass up on top. It's Rowe taking a 3, straight on, no good. Crashing for the rebound, Rundy. Puts it up. Good. Timeout, Mineral Point. It's a 30-second timeout. 11:19 to go. First half. It was 11-4, and now it's 13-11. A 9-0 run by the Cuba City Cubans. 11:19 to go, first half. Our game is brought to you by Farmers Savings Bank, your local community bank with locations in Mineral Point, Dodgeville, Edmond, Hollandale, Ridgeway, and Mount Horeb. They offer competitive mortgage rates and provide exceptional service. Call or stop into any location today. Congratulations to all area athletes from Farmers Savings Bank, member FDIC. So it started out as an 11-4 lead by Mineral Point. Now is a deficit, 13-11. Cubans, if they found a way to solve that Mineral Point pressure. Cuba putting on pressure, and there's a steal on the inbound. And put back up and in by Ashley Rowe. Rowe reached out the right hand, grabbed it, and put it in. And it's 15-11 after that turnover. Here's Point coming the other way, and a bump is going to be called on Vosberg. She got a little bit too close on Waters. Ella Vosberg, first personal. It'll be the first team of the Cubans. Pointers will make a substitution, and Claire Waters will go out. And into the game for the first time is Brianna Guninen, 5'4" junior, averages 3.6 points per game. Inbound coming left of the basket. They lob it in, and the ball tipped into the backcourt and stolen away by the Cubans. Laying it up and in is Vosberg. So more points off turnovers. It's 17-11. And another steal by the Cubans, and a layup attempt no good by Olsen. Rebound, the putback up and good by Rundy. Timeout. This is a full timeout taken by Mineral Point. 10:46 to play. First half. 19-11. Cubans back after this on Extreme on Super Hits 106 and superhits106.com.
Partner with Fuller's Milker Center and GIA for your next milking system. From the Dairy Pro Q robotic rotary parlor to the Dairy Robot R9500 robotic box milking system, you select the best fit for your operation. With GIA, you can also choose from market-leading conventional parlors. fully equipped with automated accessories. Contact Fuller's Milker Center, LLC, your local Gia dealer in Lancaster and Richland Center to start building your dream milking facility.
Sports is presented by Ben Reed CFP, your Edward Jones financial advisor in Platteville. Are you selling your farm? Give Ben a call. Member SIPC. Located by Nutrition World on Highways 80 and 81 in Platteville.
Brian Steffes Construction is the area's leading authorized WIC building construction company. For all your construction needs, contact Brian Steffes Construction in Mineral Point. WIC Buildings, your dreams, their building expertise. Together we can build something special.
In game one.
Into the point is number 11, Bell Waters.
Now it's 24-11. 10:05 to go. First half. A 20-0 run by the Cuba City Cubans. Our game brought to you by Tony's Tap in Mineral Point. They offer great tasting lunches, fabulous Friday fish, and they're located on the Cheese Country Trail. Bring your ATVs and UTVs and enjoy a great day out at Tony's Tap and the Cheese Country Trail. That's Tony's Tap of Mineral Point. Pressure, backcourt on the inbound. Getting it quickly into the forecourt. Cox on top to Waters. Waters getting it to Wenger up on top. Now dribble drive to the free throw line by Cox. And the ball was pinned. Cox got pinned that time by Alexis Rundy. Boy, Rundy came out to play tonight, didn't she? Possession arrow will give it to the Pointers. They'll inbound under the basket off to the right. It will be Ella Kroll to inbound. No, they'll do it on the side. And literally in front of Jerry Pettigrew, who's in attendance. The inbound pass comes to get in it. Picks up her dribble. Passes left to Wenger. Wenger getting D'd up by Rundy. Bounce pass comes up on top. Now Cox takes you, looking for an alley-oop pass, but nothing was happening there. Still has it. Bounce pass now comes into Wenger. Back outside. Here's the three. It's an air ball by Waters. And saving the ball from going out of bounds. Saving it was Ella Kroll and bounce it off of one of the Cubans. It'll be Mineral Point basketball. 9:27 to play. First half 24-11. Cubans lead. And there's an errant bounce pass on the inbound. And stolen away by Olsen. Olsen driving, lays it up and in. 5 for Olsen. 8 turnovers on the Pointers. Inbound against that Cuba City pressure. And now they're having trouble. Finally, finding a seam is Cox. Cox up the floor. Pass right-hand side. Putting it up and in is Wenger. Wenger with 6. And it's 26-13 with under 9 minutes to play first half. Rhythm 3 right side. That's no good for Daly, and the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Mineral Point basketball. Lacey Lindsay coming back in and goes out. Dia Chris ready to check in. And Daly will come out for the Cubans. 26-13. Cuba leads it. Mineral Point inbounding against the pressure, and coming back to get the ball was Cox. Now she'll dish to Wenger, up the floor, right-hand side of the floor, and will get it off to the right to Waters along the sideline. Pass knocked to the floor, knocked out of bounds by the Cubans with a swarming defense with Rundy. 8:41 to play, first half. Inbound, Pointers. They get into Lindsay, out between the circles. Dribbles in a little bit, will pass it off to Wenger. High left-hand side. Cox, lob feed, comes in. Lindsay lays it up and fouled. And the foul will go on Olsen. Nice cut by Lindsay. Nice catch in traffic. And Lacey Lindsay gets the hoop and the harm. Lacey Lindsay to the free throw line, a 71% free throw shooter. For Olsen, it's her first foul, second team. Free throw. No good. Fight for the rebound. Bounced out to the Pointers, and they get it on the back tap. And into the forecourt now. They have it with Cox. Passes off to Wenger. Wenger looking for a cut inside. Cuba's guarding that one in the paint. Lindsay has. Lindsay will get up on top. Cox, lob feed, right-hand side, getting swarmed. And then pass back out to Cox, and she hits the three. Cox with her 16th three of the season. And it's 26-18. Oh, don't count out anybody in this game at any point. Cubans into the forecourt with Olsen. Hesitation dribble. Comes right side. Glances it off the glass. It's no good. Rebound dug out by Olsen, and she puts it back up and in on the left-hand side. Wow, what a presence of mind to get back on the left-hand side and grab that rebound. 28-18, 10-point lead for the Cubans. Quickly up the floor. Pass goes to Lindsay in the corner left. And it's a three ball, no good. Rebound. Olsen's got it. Long feed up the floor to Vosberg. Vosberg comes to the baseline left. Bounces off the defender. Turns and shoots and scores. A basket from about 8 feet out on the left baseline. 30-18. Cubans lead it. 7:10 to play and the clock running in the first half. Inbound. Pointers trying to solve the press. Backcourt. Kroll gets it ahead to Waters. Waters across the timeline in front of the scorer's table. Picks up her dribble. Gets fouled as she got met by two Cuba players. She really got squeezed by Olsen and by Rowe. 6:57 to play. First half. 30-18. Cubans lead. Vosberg comes out into the game now for the first time. Summer Rogers, 5'10 sophomore, averages 3.9 points a game. The foul was on Olsen, her second, third team foul on the Cubans. Point inbounds. Wenger has it. Lob into Cox, powers it up. Ooh, it just missed. But she will go to the free throw line and shoot a pair. Foul will be on Ashley Rowe, her first, fourth team on the Cubans. 6:52 to play till halftime. At the free throw line is Caitlin Cox, a 64% free throw shooter. Free throw. Good for Cox. That makes the score 30-19. Our game is brought to you by Ivy Pharmacy, Mineral Point. For all your complete pharmacy needs, Ivy Pharmacy can assist with auto refills as well as greeting cards and gift items. That's Ivy Pharmacy, Mineral Point. Second free throw bounces around. It is good for Caitlin Cox, giving her 7 points. 30-20, pressure backcourt. Breaking it, Rowe. Rowe now gets into the paint, and the ball stolen away. It was taken away from Chris, and Cuba turns it over for a fifth time. Up the floor is Wenger. Wenger passes to the corner left. Lacey Lindsay, a three, no good. Rebound coming off to Rogers in the backcourt. Picks up her dribble, getting double teamed. Skips it ahead, ball knocked away. And the Pointers come up with a steal with Cox. Now with it, Wenger from the left junction. Leads. Shot up, good! Ella Kroll with the basket, and she's fouled. Got to create some turnovers, and they did it again that time. Kroll got fouled. Is the fourth team on the Cubans. Fifth team, rather. The foul was on Summer Rogers. And at the free throw line, Ella Kroll, a 68% free throw shooter. Free throw, good! by Kroll, and she completes the three-point play. Just like that, it's 30-23. Pressure, backcourt, Vosberg gets into the forecourt, and layup attempt no good for Vosberg. And the rebound comes out the point. They got a 3-on-3. Here's Lacey Lindsay, lays it up and in. Lindsay's got 7 points, and it's 30-25. Pressure, backcourt. Here's Rowe, up the right sideline. Gets it to Vosberg. Layup in! Offensive foul call on Vosberg. That'll be her second. 5:54 to play till halftime. It's 30-25. It was 30-18 moments ago. A 7-0 run for the Cubans. For Rogers, that was, no, for Vosberg, that was her second foul. 6th team on the Cubans. Point way out beyond the perimeter, and a bounce pass goes to Cox. Way out there, cross-court pass. Finally goes over to Kroll. They get to Wenger. Left side, Lindsay, another three. That's the way you do it! 52 threes now for Lindsay. 30-28, a one-possession ball game. 5:22 to play, and a turnover. The ball, no. Ball stays in play. Cuba has it. Daly, three, right side, rims out. Rebound comes off to Cox. Outlet Wenger. Slow it down now. They get it to the middle of the floor. Left-hand dribble. She works to the right wing. To Kroll up on top with it. Kroll. Bounce pass goes to Cox. High left. Now we'll find Waters with it. Corner left, Lindsay. Lindsay now will dribble inside, and the shot is missed. Rebound comes off to Vosberg. Outlet, left side of the floor, Emily Wegman who checked in. Wegman, 5'3" sophomore, and a three from the right side. Good by Daly. Daly with her third three. And it's 33-28. Here's a lob pass inside for the Pointers, and it rolls out of bounds. Unable to connect, Lacey Lindsay. And we're getting a timeout. No, we're just getting substitutions. All right, back in now. Cuba City will have Wegman along with Olson, Daly, Christ, and Rogers. They're on the floor right now. Here's Olson. Left-hand side. Wegman takes. Olsen up on top. Dribbles around the perimeter. Then she'll pass corner right. Daly, three in the corner. Off the rim. Rebound tap. Controlled by Point. And this time with it is Maddie Cabot, a freshman. Averages 3.6 points per game. And got to give some of those players a little bit of a breather. High post. Caitlin Cox near the free throw line. Dishes back up to Wenger. Now Cox now with it. She's guarded by Chris. They go corner right with Waters. Now she'll dribble in. Cross-court pass. Kroll has. Coming off a down screen is Waters. Waters handing it off to Cox. Now they pass over to the right wing with Lindsay. Left-hand side running into a roadblock and shooting and missing is Cabot. And the rebound coming off to Mineral Point, rather to Cuba City. Forecourt with Olsen. Almost walked, picked up her dribble, getting surrounded, and now she'll finally pass it and get it off to Wegman. Wegman out between the out beyond the three-point line. We'll get to Daly on the left-hand side. Wegman takes with 3 minutes to go, first half. Every pass, Chris wide open, lays up and in. First point of the game for Tia Chris. 35-28. It's a 5-0 run by Cuba City over the last couple of minutes. 2:48 to play till halftime. Diagonal pass left side, intended for Lindsay. It went behind her, and a turnover on the Pointers. With their ninth turnover. 2:43 to play till halftime. Pointers will bring Wenger back in. Cox will come out. Yeah, she could use a breather. Played every minute, I think, so far. There's Olsen working away left. Picks up her dribble. Daly, left corner. On top now, Olsen. Olsen has the ball poked back into the backcourt. She goes and retrieves it after Waters got a hand on it. Now works to the left-hand side, beyond the arc. Goes back over to the right. Behind the back pass. behind the back dribble. Wegman with a three from the right side. Oh, went halfway down and came out. Rebound collected by Waters. Waters up the floor, comes to the middle of the floor, passes right. Lindsay, rhythm three, off the rim. Rebound back tapped out. Pointers have it. Wenger's got it for the Pointers. Up to Waters, right side, now to the right wing. That's Lindsay with it. Now Lindsay has it out beyond the arc. Now throws it inside and putting it up and in. Waters and a bank shot brought to you by Midwest One Bank. Simply better banking. Member FDIC. 35-30. 5-point ball game. Cuba with the lead. 1:40 to go till halftime. Wegman dribbles. Baseline, passes up on the high left-hand side for Olsen. Olsen stumbles a bit, bounce pass right side, corner three for Daly, rims out. Chris fighting for the rebound, but winning that battle is Wenger. Wenger will take it up the floor herself, working against Rogers. Corner left, Lindsay. She'll give up on top. Now they work it to the right wing. Pass on top, handled by Wenger. Looks inside. No alley-oop there. There's just no lob feed available as the Cubans have wised up to that. Waters has a minute to play till halftime. 35-30. Cubans lead. Left-hand side with Wenger. Now a three from the right side. No good. It's an air ball by Waters. And the rebound comes off to Cuba City. Olsen into the forecourt, throws the pass to a little bit of an errant pass. Daly hauls it down, bounce pass, free throw line. Chris pivots, was looking right, goes back left, and Daly now has. Check it, that is Rogers. Couple of dribbles, skips it inside, and a kick is going to be called. Reaching out with her foot was Lacey Lindsay. It'll be Cuba City basketball. Ashley Rowe to come in. Now she's got one foul. Rogers goes out. 30.8 seconds to play till halftime. It's Cuba City 35, Mineral Point 30. Lots of peaks and valleys for each team in this first half. Lob pass up on top. Wegman's got it. Looks right, will dribble left, and pass it off to the left. Olsen will throw off. 7th turnover on the Cubans. Cox to come in. Cabot goes out for Mineral Point. And now Daly comes out, and back in is Alexis Rundy. 26.2 seconds to play till halftime. 35-30, Cubans lead. Pass, nearly an errant pass in the backcourt, but recovered by Mineral Point. Now it's a turnover, it's a double dribble. That's called on Ella Kroll. 10 turnovers on Mineral Point. 18.4 seconds to play till halftime. Cuba City will have the last shot, leading 35-30. Here's Olsen into the forecourt, working her way left, now go back right, left-hand side, it's Rowe with it. Rowe passes to the corner right, puts it up on top. Olsen comes down with it, and her pass off to the side, goes out of bounds as the buzzer sounds to end the first half. I believe that will actually go down to the turnover on Cuba City to end the first half. Our score is Cuba City 35, Mineral Point 30. Our basketball brought to you tonight by Gorgon Funeral Services, caring for families from all walks of life since 1942. Leaders in their profession, dedicated to excellence in service of the highest integrity. Gorgon Funeral Services in Dodgeville and Mineral Point. Also brought to you by Donnie's Tire and Auto in Dickeyville. Call the only hooker in town for 24-hour towing service at 568-3014. Your home for excellent car care. Donnie's Tire and Auto in Dickeyville, 568-3014. Southwest Health hosting spring and summer WIAA Sport Physicals on February 17th and 24th. Many schools don't have classes these days. Call 608-348-4330 to schedule an appointment. Guys Truck and Tractor for heavy-duty towing and recovery. Reliable 24-hour roadside service and long-distance transports. Call on Guys Truck and Tractor. Visit them in Keeler and at guystruck.com. Tricor Insurance. Insurance plans built for you, your family, and your business. Contact Tricor Insurance today. And Cuba City Collision and Repair, LLC. Cuba City Collision and Repair is recommended A long list of satisfied customers. See Joel Groom and the crew at Cuba City Collision and Repair. Cuba City 35, Mineral Point 30. We're at halftime, and the Peterson Agency halftime report is next on Super Hits 106 and superhits106.com.
For residential, commercial, or ag building projects, call on Wolf Construction LLC of Lancaster. Todd Wolf and his crew pride themselves in providing full service for their customers at the highest of quality. Wolf Construction LLC of Lancaster, proud to back our local athletes.
Turbine Dodge salutes Owen Holmes, RN, ER night nurse at Mercy One Dubuque Medical Center. Turbine will honor Owen with a donation to Mercy One Dubuque. Visit turbinedodge.com to nominate an area nurse. Thank you, Owen, from Turbine Dodge in Dubuque. The weather can be unpredictable, so tune in to Super Hits 106 for area cancellations and delays. Presented by Access Title Company. They can help you with title insurance, land research, and real estate transfers, making your closing a success. Access Title Company in Lancaster and at accesstitlecompany.com.
Go Access Title. Go Access Title.
In game 2.
Thompson's IGA Cuba City. Look in store or Facebook to see their new monthly specials from IGA and Best Choice brands. Always save. Lowest prices every day. Learn more at thompsonsiga.com.
24/7, 365. Myers Heating and Cooling is your trusted residential heating and cooling system service provider. Join Myers Comfort Club for peace of mind throughout the year and around the clock. Myers Heating and Cooling in Lancaster. Don't worry, we got this.
Celebrate 20 years of wonder at the National Mississippi River Museum and Aquarium in the Port of Dubuque with the reopening of our reimagined Rivers to the Sea Gallery. Come see 12 new aquariums featuring more than 100 species. Guests will enjoy learning about lionfish, lobster, moon jellies, seahorses, and the incredible octopus. Experience our new tide pool touch tank and make sure to pop in and see our kelp forest. Learn more about this exhibit opening late winter at rivermuseum.com.
In game 3.
Super Hits 106 and superhits106.com. Welcome to the Peterson Agency halftime report presented by the Peterson Agency in Argyle, where your West Bend Mutual and Hastings Mutual insurance agent Brian Peterson specializes in farm, home, auto, and umbrella policies. Well, this game started out with Mineral Point taking an 11-4 lead and then a 20-0 run for Cuba City followed. They went up 24-11, but Mineral Point came storming back and got it back down to where it was a 5-point ball game. Cuba City got it back up to 7, and then a basket by Mineral Point makes it 35-30. So it's a 5-point cushion for the Cuba City Cubans as we head into the Peterson Agency halftime report. Is presented by the Peterson Agency, where your West Bend Mutual and Hastings Mutual Insurance agent Brian Peterson specializes in farm, home, auto, and umbrella policies. Checking out the scoring for the Mineral Point Pointers, they're led by Lacey Lindsay with 10, 7 for Caitlin Cox, 6 for Kennedy Winger, 4 for Belle Waters, 3 for Ella Kroll, and off the bench, Kennedy Cabot. She started, did not score. Maddie Cabot saw some playing time and did not score. And Brianna Guninen also with some playing time and did not score. Mineral Point took 3 quick timeouts in the first half. That's that one right after the other. When Point got on that, while Cuba City was on that 20-0 run, they have 2 more timeouts remaining. Foul trouble. Nobody has more than 1 for the Mineral Point Pointers. For the Cuba City Cubans, they are led by Jenna Daly. Do I have that right? Daly? 24. Check it out for Cuba City. Here we go. Jenna Daly with 9, 8 for Ella Vosberg, 7 for Olivia Olson, 4 for Ashley Rowe. Dia Christ has 2, and off the bench, Alexis Grundy has 4. Playing time for Summer Rogers and Emily Wigman. They did not score. Cuba City took 1 timeout in the first half. They have 4 remaining. Foul trouble Olivia Olson has 2. Ella Bosberg has 2. Cuba City turned the ball over 8 times in the first half. Mineral Point 10 times. Your JV score, Mineral Point throttled Cuba City 63-22 in the JV game. Halftime, Peterson AC halftime report. Let's check the shoebox scoreboard. Presented by the Shoebox at Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. High school boys basketball, Scale Town 19, Stockton 5, end of the first quarter. And now we have a halftime score. Scale Town leads Stockton 31-20. That is at halftime. No score on the Belmont River Ridge game. We hope to get that here in just a bit. Here it's 35-30. Cuba City leads Mineral Point. Back on the second half after this. On Super Hits 106, KIYX FM, Sageville Dubuque, a Queen Bee radio station.
Heads Up Salon. Sherry, Jennifer, and Brittany at Heads Up do highlights, color, cuts, perms, and new barbering services too. Heads Up Salon, North Jefferson Street, Lancaster. You give 110% at work and in the game. So why not give 110% to get a beautiful, healthy smile? Schedule your routine checkups and any major dental care at Cuba City Family Dental and Keeler Family Dental. They'll help you maintain a beautiful smile, along with daily brushing and flossing for healthy teeth and gums. Call today to schedule your checkup. And if you have any problems with your teeth, make an appointment with Cuba City Family Dental and Keeler Family Dental. Keep smiling, Tri-States.
Grant Regional Health Center's ortho team, Dr. Brad Binsfeld and Nate Stocco, PAC, provide exceptional care for sports-related injuries. Grant Regional Health Center. Experience the difference.
In Game 4.
Home and Floor Show in Dubuque has yet another super fun, super promotion. Now the super game is coming fast, but you can be the one that scores big, because now through Sunday, February 12th, everything you buy at Home and Floor Show will be completely refunded to you if you can predict the final score of the super game. That's right, shop at Home and Floor Show now through the super game. Guess the final score, and if you're right, we'll refund your entire purchase. No limits. $500, $5,000, $15,000. It's going to all be refunded if you can predict the final score. Plus, buying super sale prices for this event. In-stock furniture is all 20% off our best sale price, with showroom models up to 50% off. Receive free factory authorized installation on your premium brand carpet purchase, and granite countertops are on sale starting at just $55 a foot. But it'll all be refunded 100% if you can predict the final score of the Super Game. Now through Super Game Sunday and only at Home and Floor Show Dubuque.
Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
In Game 5.
Super Hits 106 and superhits106.com. Peterson Agency halftime report is brought to you by the Peterson Agency in Argyle, your West Bend Mutual and Hastings Mutual Insurance agent Brian Peterson specializes in farm, home, auto, and umbrella policies. We do have a shoebox scoreboard update. Belmont leads River Ridge 23-17 in girls basketball. We've got that tonight on Extreme 1071, the X at x1071.com. Is that right? Yes. We're at halftime there. We are set to go for the second half here. It is Cuba City 35, Mineral Point 30. Little hold up here as Jason Derby sees something on the floor near the free throw line and stops play and goes over to pick it up and gets a nice gets a little Bronx cheer from the student section, and we're set to go. It's Olsen getting fouled, a little touch excuse me foul on Lacey Lindsay. Didn't expect that. Start the second half. So the foul goes on Lacey Lindsay. Her first personal, first team, and now another foul into the forecourt. You know, the ball knocked out of bounds, so no foul call. Now the ball knocked to the floor, away from Vosburg, and stolen away by the Pointers. And coming up with a loose ball is Cox. Cuba City with their 9th turnover of the ball game. So now they'll have a chance to score first in the second half. Here's a long three to the right. Good by Lindsay. 13 points for Lindsay on her third three of the game. 35-33, a one-possession ball game. Pass comes up on top. Vosburg's got it. Vosburg on the dribble. Left of the lane. And Point ties her up. And possession arrow will give it to the Cubans, I believe. Nope, gonna go to Point. That's like a turnover. So the Pointers have it with a chance to tie, or if they could hit a three, they could take the lead. Working to the left side is Wenger. Picks up her dribble, getting pressured by Vosburg, and Vosburg is called for a bump. Vosburg with her third foul. And we still have 17 minutes to play in this game. First team on the Cubans, inbound, coming in front of the scorer's table for the Pointers. Here on the dribble is Wenger. Wenger working to the left side. Up on top, Cox thought about the three, pulled it back. She did have a three earlier in this game. Wenger has just beyond the arc. Left side, ball poked away. And coming up with this ball is Vosburg. Vosburg skips the pass ahead and laying it up and in to throw. Great defense all the way around for Cuba City, and they convert. 37-33, a 4-point lead for the Cubans. 16 and a half to go in the ball game. Putting up on top, pass comes inside, and foul. No, traveling call on Cox. She got the pass inside, but she got moving her feet. We get a substitution. Cabot comes out for the Pointers, and Kroll is back in. Ella Kroll, 5'4" sophomore. Olsen on the dribble. Lobbed the pass over to the right side with Rowe outside the arc. Dribbles across the grain, bounce pass, comes to the junction, and they dish it underneath to Chris and lays it in. 4 points for Dia Chris, 39-33. Cubans lead. And an outlet pass knocked out of bounds by the Cubans by Olsen. It'll belong to the Pointers. Cabot comes back in, Kennedy Cabot. And going out is Caitlin Cox. I think they want to rest her a little bit here in the second half so that she is good for the last 5 minutes of the game. Inbound off the Waters. Working up on top. Kroll, bounce pass. Right hand side. And pass comes to the inside and laying it in is Waters. Nicely done. 39-35. Cubans lead. Corner left, Daly. Gets the pass to Chris. Underneath, wide open, layup, good by Vosburg. Off the assist by Chris. And I think Daly ought to get an assist on that play too. Great passing. 41-35. Corner right, three for Lacey Lindsay. She knocked it down. Lindsay with 16. 4-3 of the game for her. 41-38, 3-point ball game. Cuba with the lead. Olsen drives in. Lobs a little soft pass, comes inside the Vosburg. Almost had it stolen away. Gets it to Daly. Corner right. Three ball, no good. Chris fights for the rebound, but Wenger comes up with it. Wenger with the outlet to the midcourt. And Kroll takes it. Kroll accelerates, comes to the free throw line. Picks up her dribble. Passes right. And Lindsay takes it, being chased by Olsen. Corner right, and a bullet pass comes underneath. And a layup attempt, no good for Wenger. And the rebound comes off to Cuba City. And Olsen into the forecourt, across the timeline. Accelerates, kick out pass right side, Daly, three-corner, yes! Jenna Daly with a three, and a timeout, a 30-second timeout called by Cuba City. Jenna Daly makes the three. She's got 11 points in our game. 14:32 to play in the game. It's 44-38. Cuba City with the lead. Our game brought to you by Southwest Health, They are hosting Spring and Summer WIAA Sport Physicals on February 17th and 24th. Many schools don't have classes those days. Call 608-348-4330 to schedule an appointment. Also brought to you by Doolittle's Pub and Eatery on the Square in Lancaster. Open for lunch and dinner, including hot soups and chili, Tuesday through Saturday. And delicious pizza starting at 4. That's Doolittle's in Lancaster. It's Mineral Point basketball, 14:30 to play in the ball game. 44-38, Cubans lead it. Bounce pass, high, up on top, and now Cox with a three from the left side. Iron, no good. Fighting for the rebound is Chris. She is tied up, and she is tied up with Kennedy Cabot. It is a possession arrow belonging to the Cubans. They'll have it with 14:19 to play, and now leading by 6 at 44-38. Controlling backcourt is Ashley Rowe, the freshman. She'll pass it off right. Daly just beyond the arc to the free throw line. Rundy, entry pass for Chris, knocked away. And a foul is called on Chris, who was just trying to see if she could knock that ball loose, and Chris committed the foul. For Chris, it's her first foul, second team on the Cubans. 14:03 to play in the ball game. That's 11 turnovers now on Cuba City. Kroll, forecourt, working away against Daly. Slough off there, and then they'll pass off to the left. Entry pass comes into Kroll, and it was knocked out of bounds, and was last touched by Mineral Point. That's a pointer turnover. That's 12 for them. 13:50 remaining in the game. 44-38, Cubans lead it. It's Olsen to the forecourt across the timeline. Lob it ahead, and Rowe with a three! That's the way you do it! First three of the ball game for Rowe, her 19th of the season, 47-38, Cubans lead. 13.5 to play. High side left, winger. That's Cox with it. Now we'll pass up on top. And the entry pass from Cabot goes out of bounds. Apparently it was the Cubans who touched it. Or no, it's a foul. Foul called on Rowe. She was holding. For Rowe, it's her second foul. It's the third team of the Cubans. Winger comes in, Kroll goes out, 4 point. Inbound coming left of the basket. Quick inbound, left-hand side, it's Cox with it up on top. Cox reaching in on her, no foul called yet, and then an entry pass comes inside to Waters, misses the layup, and the rebound comes out to Cuba. Up ahead to Olsen. Olsen on the drive. Olsen with a layup, and called for an offensive foul! Olsen barrels over a defender. And for Olsen, that'll be her third foul. Cuba City fans don't like it. Mineral Point fans are pretty pleased. And for Olsen, that's not her third, it's her fourth. It's her fourth foul. They got to get her out of there. Play is going to resume here. Olsen's got to be careful. Dribbling in on her is Lindsay. Lindsay passes left. Cox has. Passes over to the right-hand side with Lindsay. Lindsay, ball over the head. She passes off to the left side to the edge and gets it to winger. Corner left is Cox. Cabot, lob pass underneath. By Winger, she puts it in. Winger with 8. They got to get a stoppage in play here, and they got to get Olsen out of there. She's got 4 fouls. They got to preserve her. 47-40. Cuba leads. Pass right. Daly getting double teamed. Pinned against the sideline, and her pass comes to the free throw line. Left-hand side, and Rowe three, and she knocked it down. Back-to-back threes by Rowe. It's 50-40. Cubans with the lead. Still Olsen is in there with the 4 fouls. Pass to the free throw line. Cabot, jumper on the way, side iron, no good. The rebound comes off to Olsen. She'll take it up the floor. Got to be careful. Can't commit an offensive foul. She drives in. May have walked layup up and good. Olsen scores, and we get a timeout. Michael Keys calls a timeout. It is what? Full timeout. 52-40. Just under 12 minutes to play. Cuba with the lead. Back after this on Super Hits 106 and superhits106.com.
Brian Steffes Construction is the area's leading authorized brick building construction company. For all your construction needs, contact Brian Steffes Construction in Mineral Point. Wick Buildings, your dreams, their building expertise. Together we can build something special.
Sports is presented by Ben Reed CFP, your Edward Jones financial advisor in Platteville. Receiving an inheritance? Give Ben a call. Member SIPC. Located by Nutrition World on Highways 80 and 81 in Platteville.
These days, making your vehicle look right after an accident can be more challenging. Tim Thane with Abra Auto Body shares how Abra excels in this process.
We have certified technicians, all the best tools you could ever ask for. All of our technicians are ICAR certified, and many of them have decades of experience. We work on all makes and models, pretty much anything from your standard Chevy to BMWs. We pretty much repair anything you have.
Abra Auto Body, a division of Anderson Weber Toyota, when you're ready.
In Game 6.
Super Hits 106 and superhits106.com. Back to action, and the ball nearly knocked out of it, nearly stolen by Cuba City on the inbound by Mineral Point. During the timeout, the official score made the change. Olivia Olsen has 3 fouls, not 4. So there is no panic to get her out of there just yet. So she's got 3, and she stays in. Lob inbound, comes to Wenger. High right, puts down left-hand dribble. Entry, comes inside, pointing up, no good by Cox. Cox grabs her own rebound, and puts it back up and in. Oh, that's Cabot. Cabot with the basket, number 15. And it's 52-42, 10-point lead for Cuba City. Head of the wheel is Rowe. Rowe with a bounce pass, right-hand side. That's going to be taken by Wegman. So Wegman and Rundy, the substitutes into the game now for Cuba City. Dribble drive, right wing. Bosberg back out on top, and Wegman with a 3, left side, no good. Rebound, comes off to Wenger. Wenger will take it up the right side of the floor with a right-hand dribble. Picks up her dribble. Pivots out. Foul call on Cuba City. And the official indicates, yep, that was a swat for the ball and got some hand that time. And that foul is on Rundy, her first. 15 foul. Only 1 foul so far for Mineral Point. 11-13 to play in the ball game. 52-42. Cubans lead. Pass left, taken by Waters. Hasn't put the dribble down. Now pass out to Cox, left side, head of the wheel. To Wenger, and her entry pass is deflected out of bounds by the Cubans. It'll be Mineral Point basketball, wide right of the basket, with 10:58 to play in the game. And Cuba City leads by 10 at 52-42. Vitech Resource Management. Sponsored tonight, A Greener Way. That's Vitech Resource Management of Monroe. On top with it is Cox. Bounce pass right-hand side. Lindsay tips it up. The arc, the ball knocked away. Coming up with a loose ball is Rowe. Rowe on the drive, tripped and misses the layup. And coming up with the loose ball is Wenger. Wenger trying to get some position and gets fouled. And she got across the timeline. A foul on Rundy. That's her second. 17 foul, or is it the 6th? The 6th. 16 fouls, so bonus the rest of the way for the Pointers. Inbound coming at midcourt, and Caitlin Cox will trigger it in. She'll skip it to the backcourt, and Wenger will take. Wenger across the timeline with it. 10.5 to go in the ball game. 52-42. Cubans. Wenger driving to the basket, and the ball knocked out of bounds. Get that thing out of here. Rundy with the swat out of bounds. Pointers will inbound right in the basket. 10:26 to go till the end of the game. 52-42. Cuba leads it. Entry into Wenger. Passes left and driving to the basket. Layup attempt by Waters. No, and she's fouled. That'll be the 17th foul. It's a shooting foul nonetheless. At the free throw line is Belle Waters. Foul was on Rundy. That's her third. Waters, a 50% free throw shooter. First free throw, good. Belle Waters, 5'7" junior. She averages 8.7 points per game. We have 10:22 remaining in the game. Point now in the bonus. Single bonus, second free throw, rims off. Fight for the rebound, the ball squirts loose, and the Pointers come with a loose ball. Lindsay, 3 for the right side, she got it! 19 for Lindsay. Off the missed free throw by Waters. 52-46. Layup attempt on the interior, and it's missed by Vosberg. Rebound, Pointers. Lindsay, same spot. 3-ball. Lindsay is on fire, I tell you. She's on fire. And it's a one-possession ball game. 52-49. Full timeout, Cuba City. 9:54 to play. Back after this on Super Hits 106 at superhits106.com.
What does the Lifetime Comfort Guarantee from Dubuque Mattress really mean? It means peace of mind. For the entire life of your Dubuque mattress, we will adjust the feel of it. If it feels a little too firm, we'll make it softer. If your mattress feels too soft, we'll make it firmer. We take the "what if I don't like it" out of mattress shopping to give you peace of mind. Dubuque Mattress for the rest of your life.
Dubuque Mattress Factory, they got a little snooze time.
Valentine's Day is coming soon, and the Bike Shack wants to help you give the gift that makes your heart stronger. We are offering 14% off all in-stock fitness equipment and bikes this weekend only. We have treadmills, ellipticals, recumbents, rowers, and so much more to help you make your heart stronger. Maybe you prefer to run. Save 14% off all in-stock shoes at the Shoe Shack. Stop in today and see how properly fitted shoes help you run injury-free. Save big this weekend, February 10th through the 14th. The Bike Shack and the Shoe Shack, Highway 20, Cedar Cross Road, Dubuque.
Ride with the Bike Shack.
In Game 7.
9:54 to play in the ball game. 52-49. It's a 7-0 run by Mineral Point. Cuba City with a 3-point lead. And Cuba City with the basketball after that full timeout by Cuba City. They have 2 more remaining. Here's Cuba into the forecourt. Wigman on the dribble drive baseline. Back out, 3-ball away, no good from the left-hand side by Olsen. Rebound collected by Vosberg. They go into the corner right, and dribbling with it is Wigman, and a 3 by Rowe up on top, good! 15 for Rowe. And now here's a shot attempt on the inside by Cox, no good. 55-49, Cuba City with a 6-point lead. Coming up on 9 minutes to play in the ball game. Olsen on the dribble. Giving, and now Vosberg has right to the lane. So dribble out of there. Stolen away by Waters. Waters on the way to the basket. Layup, no good. Rebound, Vosberg, and a foul called on the Pointers. We had a turnover, we had a missed layup, and we had a foul. Dia Chris coming back in. A foul was on Waters, her second team on the Pointers. Grundy checks out. As I said, Chris comes back in. Daly is also back in. It's Olsen, Rowe, Vosberg, Daly, and Chris on the floor for the Cubans. 8:40 to play. Bounce pass. Rowe has it near the timeline. She's working against Lindsay. Crossover dribble. Comes to the free throw line. Floater on the way. Good by Rowe. The freshman is lighting it up. 17 for Rowe. And it's 57-49. Now an 8-point lead for Cuba City. Under 8.5 to play in the ball game. Pass goes to Lindsay. Left-hand side. Hanley is winger. High right. Bounce pass right. It is with Kennedy Cabot. Cox, lob feed intended for Wenger, and it's knocked away, and Chris comes up with a loose ball. And the Pointers now with 14 turnovers. Raced up the floor. Lob comes in, and a reverse layup missed by Vosberg. Rebound comes off to Lindsay for Mineral Point. She navigates through traffic. Now she'll work up to the timeline. And lob it right-hand side. The Cox left side. Pass goes off the fingertips of Waters and out of bounds for a turnover. 15 turnovers on the Pointers. We have 7:43 to play. 57-49. Cubans. Our game brought to you by Prairie Motorsports of Prairie du Chien and PrairieMotorsports.com. Walking up the floor, middle of the floor, Olsen maintains the dribble. Bounce pass, handled by Daly, and her lob pass into the paint stolen away. And Cuba City turns it over for the 12th time. And here's a jumper in the lane. Missed by Wenger. The ball ping-ponged around. Contained by Waters. Back out. Cox 3. Left side. Side iron. Off the top of the backboard. No good. And coming out of there with the rebound is Fosberg for the Cubans. Her outlet to Olsen. We have 7 minutes to play in the ball game. 57-49. Cubans lead it. Here's Rowe. Nearly had it stolen away. Olsen now with a 3. No good. Came off the left side of the rim. Cox with a rebound. Outlet Wenger up the middle of the floor. Over to Cox left. Diagonal pass corner right. Lindsay. Cox takes. Gets it from Wenger. And Cox holds it out. Cabot thought about an entry pass. Instead will go right and go to Wenger. And now she penetrates baseline right. And she gets fouled. And she has 2 free throws coming up. The foul's going to be on Dia Chris, her second. Tell you what, that is one area that has really improved for Cuba City this year. Dia Chris would always get into foul trouble in games earlier this year. Not so much. That's only her second foul. However, it is the 18th foul. So 1-1 coming up here for Kennedy Wenger, a 61% free throw shooter. That's a shooting foul. She missed the first. The score remains 57-49. Fosberg comes out for the Cubans. And did Grundy come back in? I think Grundy came back in. 6.5 to play in the ball game. Second free throw, no good, like a turnover. And the rebound comes off to the Cubans. In the forecourt for Olsen. Olsen, shake and make move, passes right. Daly, 3 in the corner, no good. Too long, air ball, and the rebound is secured by Cox. The Wenger across the timeline, left-hand side. With it is Waters. They go off to the edge. Cox. Now pass comes inside, and catching and scoring is Waters. She has 9. 57-51, a 6-point ball game. 5:55 to play in the ball game. Cuba with the lead. Pass up on top. Olsen takes, curls, comes down the lane, tries to dish it inside, intended for Rundy, and missed the mark. And the Cubans turn it over, their 13th turnover. We have 5:46 to play in the game. Our game brought to you by Bush Insurance, a proud partner of Pekin Insurance Company. 6-point lead for the Cubans, 57-51. Running pass goes right, Waters has. Cabot rather, now it's Cox with it. Over to the left, Waters has. The Cabot, lob feed, they try to get it inside, and catching and putting it up and in is Cox. Cox with 9, 57-53. Peaks and valleys, folks, 5:16 to play in the ball game. Pass comes up on top, near the free throw line. Chris has. Passes off to the left and Rowe. Rowe working inside, puts it high off the glass, no good. Chris there with a rebound, powers it up, no, it's blocked. And then coming up with a loose ball is Wilson. And Watt kicked it back up on top. Daly, a 3, no good. Rebound, Chris has it. Chris up with the left hand, no good. Ball knocked around, and coming up with a loose ball is Wenger for point. 4:45 remaining in the game. 57-53. Cubans lead. Wenger, double dribbled, yeah. Wenger dribbled, picked up her dribble, then of course was surveying the landscape, and then put a dribble back down. So it's a turnover. Daly comes out. Fosberg back in for Cuba City. 4:39 to play in the ball game. Cubans lead it, 57-53. They've led it ever since they had a 20-0 run in the first half. Fosberg has short pass to Chris, out beyond the arc. No threat to shoot there. Here's the threat by Olsen, and a 3, no good. Bouncing rebound comes off to Cox for a point. Outlet to Wenger. She'll work her way to the left side of the floor, just beyond the arc. Picks up the dribble, getting pressured, getting bodied up, and the ball nearly stolen away. She gets it back. Now, pass, junction left to Waters. Pulling out left-hand side, Wenger. Goes to the right side with Cabot, outside the arc. Pass up on top. Collected, and the ball knocked away. Cox controls. Wenger has up on top with it. Passes off to the left with Waters beyond the arc. 3:50 remaining in the ball game. Entry into Wenger, and a foul called on Cuba. And this should be the 1-and-1. At the free throw line will be Kennedy Winger. She has already missed 2 free throws. The foul was on Rundy, her 4th. Team foul number 9. Free throw, miss, no good. Rebound, put back up and good! By Caitlin Cox. Perfectly done, missed the free throw, they got the 2 anyway. 57-55, and back the other way, and a foul called on Mineral Point. 3:33 remaining in the game, 57-55. That is the score of that classic game at Monroe about 8 years ago. That foul was on Kennedy Winger, her 2nd. Lob pass up on top, Vosberg has it. She retreats, works her way left, now works her way back right, picks up her dribble, gives to Olsen, gets double teamed momentarily, pivots out, passes right now, getting to Rundy. Olsen, corner right, ball tipped away, and a loose ball, and it's stolen away by Winger. Point with a chance to tie. 3:12 remaining in the ball game. Winger picks up her dribble, out beyond the arc, left-hand side. Now she'll skip it near side. Cox has it out between the circles. 3 minutes to play in the ball game. 57-55. Lob pass on the interior. Coming up with a loose ball. Put back up and good. No good by Cabot. Ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Point. We have 2:53 remaining in the game. It's 57-55. Cuba City with the lead on Mineral Point. Olsen will walk it up the floor. Olsen working her way against Waters. Directing traffic. Now she'll dribble drive into the paint. Back out, row, a 3. That's the way you do it! 60-55. What a big 3 by Rowe. 2.5 to play in the ball game. Rowe with 4 threes. Ball knocked to the floor. It's going to be a held ball. It was knocked to the floor. Kennedy Cabot recovered and then got tied up by Alexis Rundy. 2:23 to play. Possession arrow will give it to the Pointers. 60-55, Cubans lead. Holding it out, Winger, high, right-hand side. Rundy comes out on her. Cox, right, Lindsay, left, Waters. Pass to the free throw line. To Winger, ball knocked to the floor, and it's stolen away by the Cubans by Rowe. Up the floor now, 2 minutes to play in the ball game. Cubans lead by 5, and now they're going to dare Mineral Point to foul. Olsen dribbling out on the perimeter, bounce pass left, handled by Rundy. She'll go to Vosberg and Rundy now near the timeline. Olsen takes, Olsen to the free throw line, gets fouled. Yeah, Mineral Point now, that is only their 3rd foul. They got a lot of fouls to give. A minute 42 to play in the ball game. Rundy checks out. Back in now is Emily Wegman. That foul was on Waters, her 3rd. They gotta get into a hack fest here. They gotta hack. I mean, they can try for a steal here. I would try for the steal here and throw caution to the wind. Commit the foul if you have to. Inbound comes to Wegman, and yes, right away they foul. They got a foul. They're way behind on the bonus. So they foul Wegman, but it's only a common foul. That's their 5th. That foul was on Cox, her 1st. So yeah, keep hacking. Backcourt, Olsen behind the back dribble. Skip the pass ahead to Rowe. Rowe picks up her dribble. Passes right with Chris. Chris now will pass it up on top. Rowe takes, and a foul called on the Pointers. I think they let a little too much time go there. That foul's on Caitlin Cox. That's her 2nd. She's got the fouls to give. That's foul number 6. So now they can commit another foul and create a 1-and-1. Inbound backcourt. Olsen has skipped to the head to Rowe. Rowe on the dribble. Now will retreat. Picks up her dribble. Bounces it to Olsen. 1:15 to play in the ball game. Olsen pass up on top, taken by Wegman, and a foul on Mineral Point, and that will put Wegman to the free throw line with 1:13 to play in the game. It is 60-55. Cuba City with the lead. The foul was on Waters, her fourth. She doesn't have any more fouls to give. That's the 17th foul, and at the free throw line is Emily Wigman, 69% free throw shooter, misses the free throw! And the rebound comes off the Cox, just like a turnover. Now forecourt down for Wenger. Wenger passes out on top to Kroll. Kroll picks up her dribble. Left side, and a three for Waters, no good. Rebound knocked around and controlled by the Cubans with under a minute to play. Outlet up ahead. Olsen, she gets fouled with 51.7 seconds to play, and the foul's on Wenger. Well, last year, Mineral Point going 30-0, got a tenth of those wins against the Cuba City Cubans. Emily Wigman goes out. And at the free throw line is Ella Vosberg. And we get a timeout called by Mineral Point calls a timeout. I believe it's a 30-second timeout. So we'll stay here. And our game brought to you by Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors of Belmont and Carey Gutters and Doors.com. Sloan Implement, your official John Deere dealer in Bloomington, Cuba City, Montford, and at Sloans.com. Bob Hunhausen, your Platteville Edward Jones representative, saluting athletes on their hard work. Bob Hunhausen, Edward Jones Investments, off Business Highway 151, Inside Drive in Platteville. Mouse Electric, call Brad Adrian and Josh Busher at Mouse Electric, Lancaster, and Fenimore. Abra Auto Body Repair, a division of Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque, powering our audio stream. Anderson Weber Toyota, when you are ready. And the Queen Bee Radio Sports SoundCloud page. If you missed any part of tonight's action or any other Reedson High School sports broadcast, you can listen back to the recordings anytime and on demand at soundcloud.com, Queen Bee Radio Sports. 51.7 seconds to play, 60-55. Cuba City leads Mineral Point at the free throw line. Ella Vosberg, a 66% free throw shooter. She has 10 points tonight. Free throw good. It is now 61-55 with 51.7 seconds to play. Vosberg now with 11 points. 5-10 sophomore. Free throw good. So now more breathing room for Cuba City. They lead 62-55. Pointers into the forecourt. Wenger has. Goes to Cox, head of the wheel. Passes right, an entry pass comes into Wenger. She'll go back left and up on top. Cox taking a three. Rim no good. Rebound, put back, and is up and good. And on the inbound, the ball knocked out of bounds. Could see who made that last basket. There was so much traffic there for Mineral Point. I think that was Ella Kroll. Yes, it was. And on the inbound, Point had it, and they missed a shot on the inside, and the rebound coming off to the Cubans. Olivia Olsen gets fouled with 21.9 seconds to play. We'll walk the other way, and at the free throw line will be Olivia Olsen. Get 9 points tonight. Chance to get into double figures. 19 foul on Pointers. Free throw is missed by Olsen. And the rebound, Pointers. 18 seconds to go. They're down by 5. They need a quick three. Cox gets it inside, laying it up and in. It's Lindsay. 24 for Lindsay. 5.3 seconds to play. And we get a foul on the Cuba City inbound. So, we'll go to the free throw line, and let's see who's going to go to the line here. If she misses, Point will have a chance to tie. Here's Olivia Olsen, who missed that last free throw. The foul was on Ella Kroll, her third. Free throw. Good. Clutch free throw for Olivia Olsen. Now, it's a two-possession game. And she missed that. Point would have had a chance to line up for a three. Second free throw for Olsen. 5.3 remaining. Good. 64-59, 5.3 to play. Pointers get it in play, and a long three here at the end. Missed by Kroll, and we have a final. It is Cuba City winning over Mineral Point 64 two-game series with Mineral Point, home and away. Don't be surprised if they play each other again in a regional final, maybe a sectional semifinal. But a lot of other good teams can stand in the way. New Glarus is sitting out there having an incredible year. They're going to be in the same sectional. A while basketball to go. Final is 64 to 59. And our game brought to you by Community First Bank. For you and the communities where you live, work, and play, experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank. CFBank.com. Member FDIC. Myers Heating and Cooling. Servicing Southwest Wisconsin since 1999. Myers Heating and Cooling, when they say, don't worry, we got this. Mountain City Bank's total line of credit, allowing you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop into Mountain City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Learn more at MountainCityBank.com. Grant Regional Health Center's ortho team, Dr. Brad Binsfeld and Nate Stocco, PAC, provide exceptional care for sports-related injuries. Grant Regional Health Center, experience the difference. Russell Law Offices, here to assist you as your local legal representation. Call for a consultation to discuss estate planning, family law, criminal defense, probate administration, personal injury, and more. Proudly serving Southern Wisconsin. Russell Law Offices. Brian's Auto Paint Specialist, located in Lancaster. Also brought to you by Tony's Tap and Mineral Point, offering great tasting lunches, fabulous Friday fish, located on the Cheese Country Trail. Bring your ATVs and UTVs and enjoy a great day out at Tony's Tap on the Cheese Country Trail in Mineral Point. Ivy's Pharmacy at Mineral Point. For all your complete pharmacy needs, Ivy Pharmacy can assist with auto refills as well as greeting cards and gift items. Ivy Pharmacy, Mineral Point. Farmers Savings Bank, your local community bank with locations in Mineral Point, Dodgeville, Edmond, Hollandale, Ridgeway, and Mount Horeb. They offer competitive mortgage rates and provide exceptional service. Call or stop into any location today. Congratulations to all area athletes from Farmers Savings Bank, member FDIC. Ivy Construction, Mineral Point. Ivy Construction, a family-owned and operated ready-mix, aggregate, and excavation company serving Southwest Wisconsin. That's Ivy Construction of Mineral Point. Southwest Health, hosting spring and summer WIAA Sport Physicals, February 17th and the 24th. Many schools don't have classes those days. Call 608-348-4330 to schedule an appointment. Final. Cuba City, 64. Mineral Point, 59. Stick around. We've got the Culver's Cool Down postgame show coming up on Super Hits 106. KIYX FM, Sagesville, Dubuque, a Queen Bee radio station.
For residential, commercial, or ag building projects, call on Wolf Construction LLC of Lancaster. Todd Wolf and his crew pride themselves in providing full service for their customers at the highest of quality. Wolf Construction LLC of Lancaster, proud to back our local athletes.
Grant Regional Health Center's ortho team, Dr. Brad Binsfeld and Nate Stocco, PAC, provide exceptional care for sports-related injuries. Grant Regional Health Center. Experience the difference.
The weather can be unpredictable, so tune in to Super Hits 106 for area cancellations and delays. Presented by Access Title Company. They can help you with title insurance, land research, and real estate transfers, making your closing a success. Access Title Company in Lancaster and at accesstitlecompany.com.
Go Access Title. Go Access Title.
In Game 8.
This is a friendly reminder. Valentine's Day is February 14th. Surprise someone by remembering this year. This is April Finnan Rink with Finning Kia. This month, visit us during the Meet Your Match sales event. We are matching clients with their new Kia, certified pre-owned or pre-owned vehicle. If your current ride is in need of a makeover, lost that loving feeling, or just is not the right fit for you, visit Finning Kia. This Valentine's, fall in love with a new Kia. Who said you can't have it all? Style, dependability, safety, and an industry-leading 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. You will want to swipe right. The team at Benning Kia is on a mission to change the perception of car buying quick, comfy, and fun. Visit us on the corner of Savings, Northwest Arterial and Highway 20 in Dubuque, or online at BenningKia.com.
Finning, you're winning with Finning.
In Game 9.
Super Hits 106 at superhits106.com. Final. It's Cuba City winning over Mineral Point 64-59 in SWAL Conference Girls High School basketball action. And with that now, the Cuba City Cubans have a 2-game lead over the Mineral Point Pointers with 2 games remaining in the regular season. Yeah, the Cubans have a game at Platteville on Tuesday the 14th and a game at Fenimore on Thursday the 16th. So this is the final regular season game for the Cubans, and they win it 64-59. And again, there's only 1 conference game remaining for Cuba City, so they have a 2-game lead. So they're going to win the SWAL Conference. And yeah, it's nice that they do that after Mineral Point won all 3 meetings between the Cubans and the Pointers last year on their way to a 30-0 record and a Division IV state championship. Cuba City now 13-0 in conference play, 20-2 overall. The Pointers dropped to 10-2 in conference play and 17-5 overall. And now we are joined by Jason Derby, the coach of the Cuba City Cubans, on the Culver's Cool Down postgame show. Well, out of the gate it was 11-4. You call a timeout. You come out and obvious adjustments were made. That was if they're going to press you, then to each is their own. You know, do it to them too. You guys pressed them, and you came up with some good results on that. A 20-0 run to turn things around, Jason.
Probably a lot too much made about coach adjustments during the game, but our kids just play hard, and you know, sometimes things go your way when you really play hard, and you know, we've worked on that press all year, and we got kids who are just willing to come in and work all night long, and that's what you saw tonight. So extremely proud of those kids, and just a really, really nice job. Credit to Mineral Point. They played hard as we knew they would.
That 20-0 run, it turned the game around, but you weren't done, because then they got a run going, and they got it down. They got it down to 5 at halftime. They got it down to a 1-possession game late in the ball game, and tell you what, Ashley Rowe, boy, for a freshman, she sure is a clutch player.
Yeah, that's the good news. Basketball court doesn't care what age you are, and she's put in the work and came in, and some nights you really get to show off that work, and tonight was one of those nights for her. So it's one of those times where you look at it and you tell her that you're impressed but not surprised.
Yeah, it was 57-55, and then she hit that 3 to go up by 5, so you got a little more breathing room to work with there. And then Point, they had to get into a hack fest. They didn't have enough fouls. They caught up. They got the bonus going, and then Olivia Olson, another clutch player. The sophomore came up with a couple of free throws there at the end to seal the deal. Overall, Jason, you still have a very young team.
Yeah, and I mean, when you combine that with the leadership we have with our seniors, you really have a chance to get something special when you have those two things combined, and we're so fortunate that we do. You saw Jenna Daly early just really kicking off the game with a number of 3-pointers to start us off there, and that was a huge way to start the game and be a part of that run. So it's really a whole team effort, the entire group. We're just fortunate to have so many good players who care and who work so hard.
You talk about seniors, yeah, Jenna Daly, Dia Christ, and also Grace Cummins. She started the game here tonight. 3 seniors who have really just led the way for this young group of players that you have.
Yeah, and Dia's actually only a sophomore, so she'll be back. She'll be back a bit longer.
Oh, okay, all right. I don't know why I wrote down that she was a senior.
But you're right. I really the seniors. again, there's so much that we don't see just at games. There's so many times in the locker rooms and in practice and everything else that we don't see that they do. And, you know, they do well in games too, but it really is just a group effort.
Yeah, Daly, Cummins, and then you also have Elise Timmerman as part of your team.
Yep, and she's our manager this year and has done a nice job of helping us out there.
So, hey, there's still a lot of basketball to play because, granted, you got yourself a conference title now because you only have one conference game left, and that's against Fenimore. But you have a really good opponent coming up with Platteville on the way. They're having a great year in the SWC. I guess instead of getting ahead of ourselves and saying, "Oh wow, seeding meeting's coming up on Sunday. Oh wow, we're gonna get a chance to see Mineral Point again. We might even see New Glarus." Instead of getting too far ahead of ourselves, a big game coming up against Platteville on Tuesday.
Yep, another opportunity to learn and grow. So it'll be fun. We love playing those teams.
Very good. Hey, Jason, thanks for joining us. Congratulations on the win tonight. That was a hard-fought and well-deserved and well-earned win.
Some fun basketball. Thank you for the coverage.
You bet. Jason Daly, Jason Derby, our guest here on the Culver's Cool Down post-game show. A win tonight for the Cuba City Cubans, 64-59. We are coming back after this timeout on Super Hits 106 at superhits106.com.
Brian Steffes Construction is the area's leading authorized WIC building construction company. For all your construction needs, contact Brian Steffes Construction in Mineral Point. WIC Buildings, your dreams, their building expertise. Together we can build something special.
You give 110% at work and in the game. So why not give 110% to get a beautiful, healthy smile? Schedule your routine checkups and any major dental care at Cuba City Family Dental and Keeler Family Dental. They'll help you maintain a beautiful smile, along with daily brushing and flossing for healthy teeth and gums. Call today to schedule your checkup. And if you have any problems with your teeth, make an appointment with Cuba City Family Dental and Keeler Family Dental. Keep smiling, Tri-States.
Grant Regional Health Center's ortho team, Dr. Brad Binsfeld and Nate Stocco, PAC, provide exceptional care for sports-related injuries. Grant Regional Health Center. Experience the difference.
In Game 10.
Hello, Neil Grant here, manager of Home Show Outlet in Dubuque. And in honor of President's Day, we have some truly patriotic deals this February on the many American-made products we offer. Just for this sale, we are introducing new value-pack mattresses by Iowa-made Restonic, like the Cool Nights bed in a box. Queen size just $5.99. Curl up in a dual-coil Serenity pillow top with queen size starting at only $7.99. Or how about a premium two-sided mattress like the Presidential Garfield? Your choice of firm or plush, queen only $9.99. Maybe you need a big comfy sectional the whole family can lounge on. Then check out the American-made three-piece Mammoth by Jackson Furniture. On sale now for just $22.98. We also carry made in the USA lift recliners by Catnapper, starting at only $9.98. Remember, Home Show Outlet is the home of buy it today and take it today. So hurry in now to enjoy these and many other presidential deals this month. Only at Home Show Outlet on Highway 20, across from Walmart, under Hobby Lobby in Dubuque.
When Mother Nature or bad luck messes up your vehicle, it doesn't have to get worse. Taylor Weber with Abra Auto Body shares how they ease the pain of repair.
We assist with all of the insurance paperwork, so as long as you have the claim started, we can handle the claim after that. We offer loaner cars, and we have a lifetime warranty on all work performed. We try to make the process as painless as possible.
Abra Auto Body, a division of Anderson Weber Toyota. When you're ready.
Valentine's Day is coming soon, and the Bike Shack wants to help you give the gift that makes your heart stronger. We are offering 14% off all in-stock fitness equipment and bikes this weekend only. We have treadmills, ellipticals, recumbents, rowers, and so much more to help you make your heart stronger. Maybe you prefer to run. Save 14% off all in-stock shoes at the Shoe Shack. Stop in today and see how properly fitted shoes help you run injury-free. Save big this weekend, February 10th through the 14th. The Bike Shack and the Shoe Shack, Highway 20, Cedar Cross Road, Dubuque.
Ride with the Bike Shack.
Hi, this is Sue Rydell from the Bell Tower Theater, inviting you to the kickoff of our 2023 season with the hilarious play Weekend Comedy. When a young dating couple and a happily married middle-aged couple decide to share the same cabin, it's a clash of generations, and it's perfect for Valentine's Day. Don't miss Weekend Comedy, February 10th to the 26th. Tickets are just $23. Call 588-3377 or visit belltowertheater.net.
This spring, the Southwest Tech Foundation will award more than $500,000 in scholarships for the 2023-2024 academic year. Apply to Southwest Tech now and submit just one application for the more than 800 scholarships we have available. Scholarship applications are due March 31st. Select criteria does apply. Students must plan to enroll for 6 or more credits this fall to be eligible. Visit swtc.edu/scholarships to apply today. Southwest Tech, this is where you belong.
Craig Culver of Culver's.
Times have changed since Mom first created Culver's Double Butterburger Deluxe, but one thing sure hasn't.
Craig, what would you like to share for show and tell?
This is a Butterburger. Whoa! Fresh beef, never frozen, seared to perfection, topped with real Wisconsin cheese on a lightly buttered bun. Butterburger, Butterburger.
Hungry? Stop in for one today.
It's time for the Culver's Cool Down postgame show, brought to you by Culver's in Dubuque, Galena, Platteville, and Prairie du Chien.
Super Hits 106 and superhits106.com. Mark Evenstad from the Jerry Pettigrew Gymnasium and from the Wolf Construction broadcast table. Our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school sports presented by Wolf Construction and Myers Heating and Cooling. Final tonight, Cuba City wins over Mineral Point 64-59 and clinches the SWAL Conference title with the victory. Our game tonight on Super Hits 106 brought to you by Bryant's Auto Body and Paint Specialist in Lancaster. Russell Law Offices here to assist you as your local legal representation. Call for a consultation to discuss estate planning, family law, criminal defense, probate administration, personal injury, and more. Proudly serving Southwest Wisconsin. Russell Law Offices. Grant Regional Health Center's ortho team, Dr. Brad Binsfeld and Nate Stocco, PAC, provide exceptional care for sports-related injuries. Grant Regional Health Center. Experience the difference. Mound City Bank's total line of credit, allowing you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop into Mound City Bank to apply. Offers subject to approval. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Learn more at moundcitybank.com. Myers Heating and Cooling, servicing Southwest Wisconsin since 1999. Myers Heating and Cooling, where they say, don't worry, we got this. Community First Bank, for you and the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank, cfbank.com, member FDIC. Abra Auto Body Repair, a division of Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque, powering our audio stream. Anderson Weber Toyota, when you are ready. The Queen Bee Radio Sports SoundCloud page. If you missed any part of tonight's game or any other recent high school sports broadcast, you can listen back to the recordings anytime and on demand at soundcloud.com/Queen Bee Radio Sports. Also, Claire Bank with 8 locations in Southwest Wisconsin, proudly supporting high school sports. Claire Bank, when they say we can do that, member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Also, brought to you by the Peterson Agency in Argyle, where your West Bend Mutual and Hastings Mutual Insurance agent Brian Peterson specializes in farm, home, auto, and umbrella policies. Also being brought to you by Ivy Construction, Mineral Point. Ivy Construction is a family-owned and operated ready-mix, aggregate, and excavation company serving Southwest Wisconsin. Ivy Construction of Mineral Point. And taking a look at tonight's game, it started off an 11-4 start by the Mineral Point Pointers. Cuba City takes a timeout, and Cuba City then put on a press, and it jump-started them to a 20-0 run, and they took the lead at 24-11 thanks to that run. Mineral Point ended up taking 3 timeouts during that run, and they benefited from the timeouts. They closed it within 35-30 at halftime, but the two teams played even in the second half, 29-29, with the final being 64-59. But the Pointers got to within 2 at 57-55 late in the game. And then Ella Vosberg hit a big 3. Or I should say Ashley Rowe. Ashley Rowe hit a big 3, her 4th 3 of the ball game, to put The Cubans up 60-55, and with Mineral Point only having 3 fouls at that time, they had to catch up and commit fouls in order to put Cuba City in the bonus. And once they did put Cuba City in the bonus, Olivia Olson came through. She hit 2 of 3 free throws to seal the deal for the Cuba City Cubans. The turning point of the ball game brought to you by Tricor Insurance. Tricor Turning Point, insurance plan built for you, your family, and your business. Contact Tricor Insurance today. And that turning point was the 3 by Ashley Rowe late in the ball game to give Cuba City a 60-55 lead. Let's run down the scoring for the Mineral Point Pointers. Lacey Lindsay was on fire tonight. She had 24 points. Also in double figures, Caitlin Cox had 11. Kennedy Winger had 8. Belle Waters had 9. Ella Kroll had 5. Kennedy Cabot had 2. Off the bench, Brianna Ganinin played, did not score. Mineral Point first half 30, second half 29, as the Pointers committed, 5, 10, 15, 17 turnovers. For the Cuba City Cubans, they were led in scoring by Ashley Rowe with 20, 11 for Olivia Olson, 11 for Jenna Daly, 12 for Ella Vosberg, 4 for Dia Chris. Off the bench, Alexis Rundy had 4, and Grace Cummins, she actually started tonight, and she had 4 points. Emily Wegman and Summer Rogers with some playing time, they did not score. Cuba City, 35 in the first half, 29 in the second half for a total of 64. Next up for the Cuba City Cubans, they have a non-conference game on Tuesday against the Platteville Hillmen, and we will have that game on Queen Bee Radio. Now, where'd my schedule go to? I know we have it on our schedule next week. Here we go. We'll look ahead to next week, and coming up on Tuesday will be Cuba City at Platteville on Extreme 107.1, the X and X1071.com. Tomorrow, we invite you to join us for high school wrestling, Division III regional action at Mineral Point on 97.7 WGLR. Division II regional action on Extreme 107.1, the X and X1071.com. That'll be coming to you from Richland Center. And also in Division II action, it is Division II teams competing at Belleville here on Super Hits 106 and superhits106.com. And coming up tomorrow night, it's boys high school basketball. It's a biggie. It's Mineral Point at Cuba City. Here we go again. And we'll have that game tomorrow night around 7:15 here on Super Hits 106 and superhits106.com. Wisconsin Badger men's basketball. It's Wisconsin at Nebraska around 2 p.m. on ESPN Radio, AM 1590 WPVL. Here our final is Cuba City 64, Mineral Point 59. That'll wrap up our broadcast for tonight. We'll talk to you with wrestling tomorrow from Belleville. Scott Tolson and I will have the action on Super Hits 106. So for coaches Michael Keys and Jason Derby, I'm Mark Evenstad, your final. Cuba City 64, Mineral Point 59. Thanks for listening. The preceding has been a Queen Bee Radio Sports presentation on Super Hits 106 and superhits106.com. So long, everyone.
This has been a Queen Bee Radio High School Sports presentation.
Dubuque Super Hits 106 is KIYX Sageville, Dubuque, a Queen Bee radio station. On air